With RugSimple, all of your monetary activity is tracked in a batch throughout the day at various points of sale. In this example, we have a cash and carry point of sale and an office point of sale. Each point of sale activity is collected into batches. Those batches are then closed. They're checked for what's been collected against what's been recorded and make sure everything balances, and then you can close the batch. Each POS batch rolls up into a master batch or daily register, which is also checked over and then closed. Once the master batch is closed, the posting journals of the day's activities are generated, which can be automatically posted to QuickBooks Online or generate a report for manual entry. In order to see this through, a few steps need to be set up. In this case, we're using this test company and a test QBO account. So we'll assume in this case that you are using QuickBooks Online, but we'll discuss the manual options along the way. The first step is to ensure that your chart of accounts is established in QuickBooks Online. But the flexibility within RugSimple allows you to change or add to your chart of accounts at any time. So don't worry about not having the correct accounts set up at the start. The next step is to activate your QBO connector, which you can find under the accounting system. And details on connecting this are available at rugsimple.com/support under the accounting section. Next, we'll map the accounts. So under your accounting, if you click on account mapping, on the left-hand side under category and subcategory, you're going to have all the outputs that are potentially generated in the posting journals for the daily activities. Each one of these outputs has to be assigned to an account. In this column, you have your QuickBooks Online accounts, and in here you have your accounts that are sort of native to your app that you've set up, your RugSimple accounting essentially. So with our QuickBooks Online connector connected, we can go to any one of these line items and start to connect the accounts. You don't have to fill them all in. If there are certain outputs that are generated where you have not mapped them yet, then you'll just get a flag that the connector is missing, and then you'd have to go back and connect it somehow. So in this case, we're just going to go showroom owned, and this is a sale. So I'm going to click on edit button here, and you'll see that my sale showroom owned account is assigned under my QBO accounting. So I'm just going to put this back to none. This is how it would look when you first come in here. You can do it by number or you can do it by name, and any classes you might have established too. In this case, I don't have any classes set up for this account, and I want to update. And you'll see there the account shows up, and now that's mapped. For the app account, you first have to establish your list of accounts within RugSimple. So with QuickBooks Online, it's something that you're pulling these accounts down from QuickBooks, but the app accounts are accounts that you establish inside this app. To do that, you would go to Settings, List Management, and then Account List. Here you can see we've already started to set up some of our accounts. First, you'd have to go to the account types. The account types, in this case, would be the basic types of accounts, and any account classes that you also want to establish. Classes are used primarily in QuickBooks Online as sort of sub-accounts to a main list of chart of accounts. So the account, if you go back to account lists and you add, here is where you can name oops, suspense. Rug, I will call this one rug purchase suspense. And an account type is a asset. Yeah, let's call it an asset. Now you see rug purchase suspense account has been created. And you'll do that for all the accounts to mimic what you have in the chart of accounts of whatever accounting system you're using. So if you go back to account mapping, to utilize that rug suspense account, purchase suspense account, if you scroll down to the inventory adjustment mapping at the bottom, you'll see rug purchase suspense, own, and consignment. In my case, I'm just going to send them both to the same account. So I choose RugSimple accounts and choose my rug purchase suspense, update. And it'll do the same thing for my consignment rugs. Now both of these accounts have been mapped. So for rug purchase suspense, we have the app accounts that we established and also the corresponding accounts within QuickBooks Online. Okay, let's create some orders and see how this flows through to batching and posting journals. We'll create an order. And I'm going to add an showroom item. Let's see, 27870. And we'll add that into the cart. And what I'm also going to do is take a payment on this rug against our cash and carry POS for the full amount. It's asking me if I would like to change my order status to complete. Because I've collected all the money that is pending, when I say yes, that means that the order is complete and it's not considered an advance payment. It's actually full payment. When money is exchanged, in this case when we took payment, that triggers a new batch in our batch list. Before we go there, I'm just going to go into an actual showroom item as well, and I'm going to change the cost of something, and we'll see how that appears on our posting journals as well. So let me go into this item here, and I'm going to edit. And instead of this cost being $1,600, let's just say the cost is $1,500. It's giving me a note saying that the cost has changed and to create an inventory adjustment before selling this rug. Okay. Now obviously you're going to have more than one order, hopefully more than one order within a day, and usually you'd be closing your batch at the end of the day. So when it comes time to close your batch, you would close your POS machine. It'll give you a tally of everything you've collected and with credit cards and cash payments or checks if you take those. And you'll go into your batch list. So this is your batch list for today. The number of terminals that were activated or utilized today, and the number of transactions. So you can see that our transaction is sitting in there. So we're going to go to the batch. Typically, if we have more than one terminal, actually, let's do that. Let's go and create a different order on a different terminal. So I'm going to create a new order. So let's add a cleaning item in here. And we're just going to put in the inspection, say this is a 10 by 10. That generates my price. Okay. And I'm going to add a payment. And this time I'm going to do it as a Visa payment, and it's going to be through my Office POS. Full amount. Add. And it's paid in full, so I'm going to say yes, let's change this to complete. Okay, now when we go back to our accounting system and we go to our batch, it still only says 1 because I opened the batch, but it's notifying me that there's more transactions that have been active. Would you like to import them? And I'll say yes, I'll import them now. Okay, so now we have 2 terminals appearing here, 1 transaction in each, one for the cash and carry terminal, one for the office terminal. First, we have to close each one. So in the office terminal, we take a look at what we've received. This should match our ticker tape off of our POS machine or cash register or what have you. And I want to, if everything checks out, if it doesn't check out, I can use over and short payments to match what was collected or not collected. Or if everything checks out, I can just close. Okay, so now you can see that this office terminal has been closed. Next one we have to close is the cash and carry terminal. And this one checks out, everything looks good, so I'm going to close that as well. Now that the terminals have been closed, we have to close the master batch for the day. So only until these terminals are closed can we close the master. And we can set that time. Let's set it to right now and close the batch. Now that the batch has been closed, you can preview the posting journal prior to closing the batch, just in case you're concerned about where the transactions are going to end up. But in this case, we've already closed, so I'm just going to go to my posting journal now. And you'll see that you have 2 entries. One is my inventory adjustments, and one are my posting journals. Okay, we're going to go to our inventory adjustment journal, and you can see that this is the cost correction that we made of $100 against this SKU. The old cost was $1,600, new cost is $1,500. So we credit our inventory account, and our rug purchase expense is $100. Then you'll see the connector accounts that we've established here because my connector is active. If you don't see a connector accounts here, then you can try to remap and you should see them appear. If nothing appears here, then it's probably hasn't been mapped in your account mapping. Now, if you wanted to post this manually, you could turn your connector off. But in this case, we are going to push to QBO, so we'll turn it on. You can also add notes to your inventory adjustments, especially if this is a change in cost. Accountant might want to know why that happened, so you can add notes here. And we're just going to go ahead and post. After we post, we get notification here that these 2 orders have been posted and they should be closed. So I'm going to update. Now if we go back to our posting journals, you can see that this inventory adjustment has been posted. So we're going to go to our posting journals for the sales activity, and our connector is enabled. So you'll see our connector accounts that we've established here. This is our sales, our order items, our sale items, and totaling $4,286. And our payment collected also totals $4,286, so it's balanced. And then you have your inventory adjustments at the bottom for the sale, removing the inventory from your the item from your inventory. So everything looks good here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post. So it caught an error because this connector account is not established. So this is my undeposited funds account for Visa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my account mapping, and I'm going to go down to my payment terminal for Visa. Under my office, POS. So here's my Visa. So I'm just going to go and connect that to undeposited funds. Okay, so now that that's mapped, I can go back to my posting journal and I can remap. Well, you'll see down here I have a missing spot for undeposited funds Visa. And then when I remap, you'll see that that spot has been filled in. And I should be able to post now. Okay. Now you can see that this has been posted. And if you go into the actual posting journal, you can see that the connector was QuickBooks when it was posted and the journal entry ID of 263. So if I go to my QuickBooks and search for recent transactions, you'll see that my ID is 263. So this is the one that we're looking at. And you can see that all the information has automatically been transferred into my QuickBooks Online. Now let's take a look if we wanted to generate a posting journal manually and not push it to QuickBooks. So I'm just going to create another order. And I'll sell this rug. Okay, and I'll take payment. Okay, now that money has been exchanged, I can go into my batch group and you'll see that my batch group has been activated. I'll go into my batch. I'm going to close that batch for that terminal. I will close my master batch. And I'll go to my posting journal, number 22. And we're going to turn our connector off. That way we can post manually and we can see the app accounting chart of accounts that is coming up here. It's not QBO anymore. And everything seems to be filled in okay. Because we sold a consignment rug, the customer that has the rug on consignment is to be paid out. So they're in here underneath accounts payable. So I'm going to try to post. So it posted and then it's telling me that this order is ready to be closed because everything has been posted. So I can say update and everything's good. Now that everything has been posted, you can see up here that it's been posted, but it's posted without the connector. So in this case, this information didn't really go anywhere. So what you can do is you can print out your posting journals in a PDF download, and then that can be taken to any accounting system and with the necessary information put in to record the transactions of the day.